Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends X-Men 97, aka the continuation of the X-Men, the animated series, Wolverine. And so far, this is the first figure that I have from this wave. I have Magneto, Bishop, and Rogue on the way, and those are currently the only ones that I'm going to get. I will end up getting Storm at some point. Gambit, we'll see. Probably after I get the, after I watch the show, I'll probably want those more. But I'm good with the Storm that I got, and the Gambit that I have is fine. But I'm really excited about this Wolverine because he has, obviously, they made him entirely pinless. I like the Wolverine head, or the Logan head that's on here. And I really dig the trunks, the way they did them. Because, I don't know if you guys remember, the way that the old Wolverine figures were, it was just, the crotch piece was that. And then all the legs were yellow. But they actually sculpted and made specific pieces to be the trunks, which I think is really cool. And I hope they continue to do that going forward. And I really do think they're probably going to use... I definitely think they're going to get their mileage out of this sculpt because the only thing that is reuse, well, the hands, boots, the belt probably, and then maybe the crotch, but the whole torso itself, obviously besides the arms, is all the same sculpt from the same Wolverines we've been getting for years. And then the new stuff just really elevates this into a really nice figure. So without further ado, let's take a look at what Logan comes with. So obviously, as you can see currently on him, he has the one clawed hand and then a fist, but he obviously comes with a, alternate pair of those. So you get the claws, which these are the same tried and true ones that we've gotten. These are unfortunately unremovable, which you probably could heat them up and pry them off, but they're not the way that we're used to when it comes to the removable claws. So those will be a little bit trickier to switch out if you're looking to do something like that with maybe the can of beams ones. But then we have a standard fist, which the paint on these is all really good. And then of course we get a alternate Wolverine head, which this is the same sculpt that they had for the animated series one, which makes sense because it's supposed to be a continuation of that. So it stands to reason that they would use that same thing. But I don't know if it's really going to come across well on camera. You can kind of see the couple of dots on the chin. That's how they chose to do his stubble, was just like a couple of little dots here and there, which I think that's probably how it looks in the show. I'm hoping anyway. Otherwise, it's going to look a little funky. Pulling in the Logan head sculpt now, this is a really nice sculpt. I like this. It looks very animated, but it also looks like it could pass as a comic book head, which I really do like, because I definitely think this head sculpt will be used for a lot of great photography. And of course, we also get the reuse of the down cowl piece, which is really nice that we actually got that here, because in the box he actually didn't have that on, so he just looks like this whenever you see him on the peg, which doesn't look bad, but it's obviously it looks better when you actually have the mask piece itself down. And like I pointed out before, you can only really kind of see it just a little bit, but there's like a couple of dots on his chin in that, and that's the same thing as the masked head sculpt, so that's the way that I guess they're doing this, his facial hair for the show. And speaking of hair, let's go into the detail on the figure. Taking a look first at his arms, which are pinless, by the way, same with his legs. They sculpted on the arm hair, so that's really cool that they did that. They just didn't paint it, though, and I don't know why. Obviously, it wouldn't be that hard to maybe just, slap some black paint on there, wipe it off, do some dry brushing kind of thing for it, but we shouldn't have had to, and it's a little strange that it's just... I wonder if maybe they tried, because obviously they wouldn't have sculpted this and then not painted it, right? Like they would have probably, tried a couple times to see how it looks, and it probably just came out really strange. I definitely think, though, at some point, maybe we'll get a different version of Wolverine using these arms and this whole body probably, and they'll probably try to paint the arm hair. But if not, I'm glad that we have the sculpt at least, because that way, at the very least, we can do it ourselves. His tiger stripes are all very thick on him, which is probably, the animation style. And it doesn't look bad, not by any means, I don't think. His belt obviously is the same as it was. These are on the little hinges, which we'll go over that more in articulation. But then the trunks, like I was talking about, his legs are pinless, so they did end up making new thighs. And I'm pretty sure that this waist is the same, but I could be wrong. But I really like this because this is actually sculpted and... for his trunks and that, and it just looks a lot cleaner than the old way. Because if you look up the old Wolverines and then compare it to the way that his trunks look on this just looks so much nicer. It looks so classic and natural instead of almost like a thong, kind of, which is what he had before, I would say. It was probably more comparable to a thong than, like the quote-unquote underwear. but it's not bad. I like it. I really like this figure so far. And thankfully, the way they had him in the box, on mine, I was fortunate enough to not have any screwed up claws. Like, look at this side. This side looks really nice with the claws. But these are the very flimsy ones from the animated series, like VHS figure, so just to be weary of that. And now let's take a look at the articulation. We're just going to go over his arms and his legs because those are the only new parts. So as for his shoulders, they only go up to about right there, which is unfortunate, but I almost wonder if since these are right here, maybe you could like cut into the arm a little bit to get a little bit more range out of it. But as is, it's not terrible. You can rotate all the way around. Bicep swivel, which is really good on this. Double jointed elbows. And then, you know, the standard hinges for the hands and all that good stuff. Same, you know, torso, all that stuff. And then for his legs, they go up really far, which is really nice. They go out almost all the way. This is better than a lot of Spider-Mans, actually. He's got thigh swivel, double jointed knees that go back pretty much all the way, which is really cool. And for these new sculpts, they actually do have it so you still maintain the boot swivel like on the old ones, which is really nice. So I'm really glad that they took the old sculpt and just, you know, they improved upon it. Like, nothing has been sacrificed, I don't think, in terms of articulation to make a pinless Wolverine, which is always nice. And now taking a look at some size comparisons. Bringing in the Renew Your Vows Spidey and then the 20th anniversary Captain America, I think these three look great together. Wolverine, I think he might be a little bit shorter. I don't have any of the old Wolverine figures anymore. They've all been foddered and none of them are complete anymore. So this definitely seems a lot smaller. Is that just me? Like, maybe they made the legs just a hair smaller? But this looks great scale-wise. I think this looks awesome. And I think Wolverine's head might just be a little bit down. So let's actually move that up a little bit. Straighten his torso out a little as well. And still, he looks so short, so accurate, so nice, and very classic. I lied. I was able to find the classic brown suit Wolverine that I did put the House of X head on that I repainted. And I think I was right. I'm pretty sure that, yeah, if you look at the way his hips are, he is just like a tad shorter. And I think that definitely works in its favor. And then here he is next to the Mafex Nightwing. And I think this looks great too. If you wanted to get this Wolverine, you know, if you missed out on the old one and you wanted to put him with your Mafex stuff, I think you could. Scale-wise, I think it works. Overall, short, sweet, to the point, which, you know, Wolverine is short and he can be sweet, I think. And he's definitely to the point with his claws, obviously, and just in general with his bluntness. But this is a great figure. I was very happy to find this. It's a very nice upgrade to a Wolverine that we already have, like, you know, in various different styles and whatnot, because it's the same torso, crotch, boots, hands, like I said, and even the head sculpt of the masked head. But I really do enjoy this. I think that this works in a multitude of ways, different areas of your collection. You know, it doesn't just have to be for the X-Men 97 show. I think that this definitely can work for various different X-Men displays. And I really cannot wait to see them use this sculpt more to give us, you know, a brown suit Wolverine, maybe another X-Force, you know, because obviously they're going to keep pumping out Wolverines, and using this mold going forward, please, Hasbro, because this is great. And like I said, the only real nitpick that I have, obviously the claws, as long as they're straight, which is fine. Like even the alternate hand was pretty decent on this one. It wasn't too terrible. But I wish we could have gotten, you know, like the bigger, thicker claws. But I definitely could see them using the old hands. Like if we were to get the brown suit Wolverine, maybe they'll just swap out the hands. But other than that, you know, his shoulders being a little bit limited, this is a great figure. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. And I will be comparing him to the rest of the figures from this wave that I get, like the ones that I said at the beginning, as soon as I get them. And I will be reviewing them as soon as I get them as well. So stay tuned for that. And I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.